If you're somewhere in that decade between 55 and 65, Social Security is one of the biggest financial decisions sitting right in front of you. Most people treat it like a coin flip, but the difference between claiming at 62 versus waiting until 70 can mean more than $900 in monthly income for the rest of your life. I'm PJ Gibbs, CFP and founder of Trella Wealth. I work with high income earners in what I call the transition decade, the 5 to 10 years before retirement and the critical first years after it. Most people spend 30 years focused on saving and almost no time on the decisions that actually determine how retirement goes. That's the window I work in. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the math at 62, 67, and 70, the break-even analysis most people never even run, what happens to your spouse's benefit, and the one tax strategy that makes delaying Social Security even more powerful than the headline numbers suggest. If that's useful to you, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Let's start with the numbers, because a lot of people have a general sense that waiting is better, but they don't know what they're actually giving up or gaining. For anyone born in 1960 or later, your full retirement age is 67. That's the age at which the Social Security Administration has determined you receive 100% of the benefit you've paid into over your working life. According to the Social Security Administration, the maximum monthly retirement benefit in 2026 is $4,152 at 67. Claim at 62 and you're filing 5 years early. The SSA doesn't just give you a haircut, they give you a permanent one. You'll receive about 70% of your full retirement age benefit, roughly a 30% reduction that follows you for life. The 2026 maximum at 62 drops to $2,969 per month. Wait until 70 and you've earned delayed retirement credits of 8% per year for every year past 67. 3 more years of those credits pushes your benefit to 124% of your full retirement age amount. The 2026 maximum at 70 reaches $5,181 per month. Now, those are maximum figures based on the highest possible earnings records. Most people won't hit those ceilings, but the percentage relationships hold regardless of what your specific benefit is. If your full retirement age benefit would be $2,000 a month, you're looking at roughly $1,400 at 62, $2,000 at 67, or $2,480 at 70. And every one of those amounts also grows each year with the cost of living adjustment. The Social Security Administration set the 2026 COLA at 2.8%. That adjustment applies to whatever your starting benefit is, which means the higher the benefit you lock in, the more your COLA increases are worth in raw dollars each year. The question most people actually mean to ask is, if I wait longer and collect less now, how long do I have to live for that to pay off? When you compare claiming at 67 versus waiting until 70, research from the Center for Retirement Research at Boston College puts the typical break-even age at around 82 to 83. Before that age, the person who claimed at 67 is ahead in cumulative lifetime benefits. After it, the person who waited to 70 pulls ahead and stays ahead for every year they live past that point. For the 62 versus 67 comparison, the break-even generally falls in the late 70s to early 80s. So here's the honest framing. If you have reason to believe you'll live into your mid-80s or beyond, waiting tends to win mathematically. If your health history suggests otherwise, claiming early may be the right call for you specifically. But what I want to point out is that this isn't a guess you have to make alone. Your family longevity, your current health, your other income sources, and whether you're still working all factor into where that break-even sits for your situation. I'll come back to that working piece in a minute because there's a detail that catches a lot of people off guard. But stay with me because the spousal and survivor angle in the next section changes the break-even math entirely for married couples. When you're married, the Social Security claiming decision isn't just about you, it's about both of you. And in some cases, the second order effect on your spouse is larger than the primary effect of your own check. Spousal benefits work like this. A lower earning spouse is generally entitled to up to 50% of the higher earner's full retirement age benefit. That cap is fixed at the higher earner's FRA amount, not their delayed amount. So waiting past 67 does not grow the spousal benefit any further. The spousal benefit maxes at 50% of what the higher earner would have received at 67. Survivor benefits are a different story, and this is where the math gets important for married couples. The higher earning spouse delays to 70 and then passes away first. The surviving spouse steps into that higher benefit. They receive up to 100% of what the deceased worker was collecting. According to the Social Security Administration, survivor benefits can be claimed as early as age 60, though claiming before full retirement age still reduces that amount. What this means for a couple where one spouse significantly out-earned the other, delaying the higher earner's Social Security to 70 is often as much a survivor protection strategy as it is a personal income strategy. You're not just buying yourself a bigger check, you're building a higher income floor for whoever lives longer. If you're thinking about claiming Social Security at 62 and you're still working, there's a rule you need to understand before you file. As of 2026, if you claim Social Security before your full retirement age and you're still earning income, the Social Security Administration will withhold $1 of benefits for every $2 you earn above $24,480. That threshold isn't very high. For anyone still bringing in a meaningful salary, this can wipe out most or all of the benefit you were collecting. In the year you reach full retirement age, the limit becomes more forgiving. $65,160 with a withholding rate of $1 for every $3 over the limit, but only for the months before your full retirement age arrives. Once you hit full retirement age, the earning test goes away entirely. I see this trip families up regularly. They think they can file early and keep working, and then they find out the benefit they were counting on is effectively gone until they stop working and reach age 67. The withheld benefits aren't lost forever. Your future benefit gets recalculated upward, but the short-term cash flow hit can be significant. If you're still working and considering claiming early, make sure to run that math before you file. This is the part of the Social Security decision that almost never comes up in casual conversations, but it's one of the most valuable planning moves available to people in their early 60s. When you retire in your early 60s but delay Social Security until 67 or 70, you create a window of years where your taxable income is often the lowest it's been in decades. Your wages are gone. Social Security hasn't started yet, and under Secure 2.0, if you were born in 1960 or later, your required minimum distributions from your IRA or 401k won't start until age 75. That gap between retirement and when Social Security and RMDs arrive is a Roth conversion window. It's an opportunity to deliberately move money from your traditional pre-tax accounts into a Roth, paying tax on it now at relatively low rates before those other income sources pile on and push you into higher brackets. Imagine a married couple. I'll call them Tom and Laura Miller. Tom is 62 and Laura is 60. They've retired. They have $1.2 million in traditional IRA and 401k accounts, and they plan to delay Social Security until Tom turns 70. During those 8 years, their income from wages is zero. If they convert roughly $100,000 per year, they could stay within the 22% federal bracket, converting up to $800,000 into Roth accounts before Tom's Social Security and RMDs kick in. Now, this is a somewhat drastic hypothetical example for illustration purposes. But why does that matter? Because once Social Security starts, up to 85% of the benefit can become taxable income depending on your combined income. According to IRS publication 915, for married couples filing jointly, any combined income above $44,000 triggers that 85% taxable tier. Combined income is your adjusted gross income plus non-taxable interest plus 50% of your Social Security benefits. Those thresholds haven't been adjusted for inflation since the 80s, which means more and more middle-income retirees are crossing them without realizing it. The logic of the Roth conversion strategy is straightforward. You're prepaying taxes on your IRA money at a controlled rate now, reducing the traditional account balances that will later generate forced taxable withdrawals, and protecting more of your Social Security from that 85% inclusion. It doesn't make the tax disappear. It lets you decide when and at what rate you pay it, rather than letting the IRS decide for you later. Now, one important guardrail to keep in mind. Large Roth conversions can affect your Medicare premiums 2 years later through what's called IRMA, the income-related monthly adjustment amount. Good planning treats those thresholds as guardrails while still prioritizing long-term tax savings. Your conversion strategy in 2026 will feed into your Medicare premiums in 2028, so the amounts matter. Now, most financial content on this topic ends with, "It depends." which is technically true, but not very useful. So let's try to get a little more specific. Delaying to 70 tends to make the most sense when 1, you're in good health with a family history of longevity, 2, you have other assets or a working spouse to bridge income between retirement and 70, and then 3, your IRA balances are large enough that the Roth conversion window is genuinely valuable, and 4, you want to maximize the survivor benefit for a lower earning spouse. Claiming at 62 can be the right call when you're in poor health, when you're not working and need the income immediately, or when both spouses have similar earnings records and the spousal and survivor benefit premium from delay isn't as significant. But it comes with that permanent 30% reduction. And if you're still working, the earnings limit can make it counterproductive. But the longer you're able to delay can create a higher income floor that will increase with the COLA over time. A financially healthy person, at least in my view, is not someone who picks mechanically based on the best Social Security age from a chart. It's someone who understands their income sources, their health, their family, and their tax picture well enough to make the decision that protects both their own retirement and the people they care about. Social Security is not a decision you want to make at the time of retirement. That's actually when most of the planning leverage has already passed. The families I work with who get the most out of this are the ones who start modeling it 5 to 10 years out, because at that point, you still have time to shape the other variables. What you convert, when you retire, how you sequence your withdrawals. The math at 62, 67, and 70 is knowable, but the right answer for you sits at the intersection of your health, your spouse's benefit, your tax picture, and whether you're still working. If you want to see how these decisions look inside your own retirement plan, the Retirement Readiness Scorecard through the link in the description is a good place to start. Or you can schedule a call with me at Trail Wealth to work through it directly.